Public Works and Infrastructure Minister Patricia de Lille has confirmed one suspect has been arrested in connection with the blaze that engulfed Parliament early this morning. The suspect was allegedly caught on Parliament's CCTV footage, and the Hawks are investigating. The fire is yet to be brought under control. Our reporter Aisha Ismail is covering the story for us. Aisha, speak to us what you are seeing at Parliament at this moment. Has the fire been contained?
Well, as you can see the smoke still coming out of the windows at Parliament. The firefighters are still trying very hard to contain the fire in the National Assembly. We've been hearing all day today about the extent and the extensive damage caused by the fire that started after 6 o'clock this morning. But let me just take you to the spokesperson for the City of Cape Town's Fire and Rescue Services, Jermaine Carlser. Jermaine, what is the situation at the moment?
Hi there, good evening to you and your viewers. Obviously, the fire is concentrated on the first and the third floor. The smoke that you're seeing that's billowing out there is from the fire doors that they open and some of the windows that we managed to open up eventually. And that is obviously to let the hot air and gases escape. It's extremely hot inside. We've got crews that's going to come in at 9 or 8 and 9 this evening to relieve these guys because they've been tirelessly hard at work from this morning out just after 9, relieving the other crews that started after 6 this morning. So there's a lot of heat, build-up of heat, and obviously the fire load inside the National Assembly that they have to contend with. But I think the guys have done an extremely good job thus far, and obviously with the swift response this morning from Roland Street Fire, and with the city having the capability of having more resources available to assist. It could have been a dumb picture painted if we hadn't had the resources. But I can commend the guys for putting in a hard yard today.
Jermaine, earlier we saw the firefighters busy breaking some of the windows on the top level of the National Assembly.
Yes, and that was what they say is that some of the windows are bulletproof and were unable to open. Hence, they had to break the windows just to release the gases because that build-up of gases makes it extremely dangerous and it's an extremely hard condition for the firefighters to extinguish the fire. And with all that smoke build-up, they have to go through the stairs, which means their visibility is also impaired.
If you were to describe the heat inside there, what would the temperature be?
Well, as I said earlier to one of the journalists, one of the guys took the bully beef inside, and when he came out, it was a smoothie. So you can imagine how hot it is currently in there.
And what is the extent, if you were to describe the extent of the damage, what would that be?
Well, if we take out the old assembly, with the third floor gutted, the office space, the roof obviously caved in, the gym area, the second floor also extensive damage, and that's not talking about the water damage also. But with the National Assembly itself, the Assembly Hall, the third floor and the first floor, extensive damages on that. I think there's going to be a lot of work to be done after the fire has been extinguished, and obviously when there's a fire investigation will be launched eventually.
How soon can we expect the fire to be put out completely?
Well, I don't want to put a number on that, but I could maybe safely say by tomorrow morning 9, the situation could have died down and the fire could have been extinguished. But that's all on different factors. You can see the wind is picking up. We could also play a major role with the fire being just fan the fire again.
Thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure.
And that was Jermaine Carlser, the spokesperson for the City of Cape Town's Fire and Rescue Services. And as you heard, he was talking about the wind coming up, and that could also pose a problem because it could reignite the fire, and that could be a problem for the firefighters at the moment. But we did have a briefing just a few minutes ago from Patricia de Lille, the Minister of Public Works. She did say to us that one person had been arrested, and what we do know, it is a 51-year-old man that was arrested on the premises in the National Assembly. Now, when I asked Patricia de Lille about how the person got onto the premises, she said she did not want to speculate about it. What was also interesting is that she mentioned the fact that, remember earlier we heard from the President that the sprinklers were delayed, and Patricia de Lille told us that the sprinkler was actually turned off. And I mean, that is alarming. She also said that they are busy investigating as to why the CCTV cameras did not pick up the person, the intruder, on the premises this morning at 6 o'clock. Let's listen to what she had to say.
It's confirmed that a person has been arrested, and I can also confirm from General Patikile that the docket has now been handed over to the Hawks, because it's the role of the Hawks to investigate any attack on political institutions. So that we can also confirm. Well, according to the report from the police, they was arrested inside Parliament. The report that I received, there was a fire drill just before Parliament closed, which is a standard maintenance to test whether the fire sprinklers are working. And they've done the drill and everything was in order. What was discovered this morning, that somebody has closed off one of the valves. And then so there was no water to trigger that automatic sprinkler system coming on, because somebody has closed the valve. So we are getting information piece by piece as we're going on. Similar with the CCTV cameras, we will also have a report tomorrow about what happened. Why was it that only at 6:10 this morning, when the fire broke out, that they were looking at the CCTV cameras that confirmed that somebody was in the building from early hours of the morning.
I think it's very concerning, Aisha. We definitely need more clarity from the Minister and Public Works and the Deputy Speaker on what exactly transpired and whether or not there was actually any security personnel on the premises. Did you manage to get any clarity from the Minister as well as the Deputy Speaker?
Well, I did try to get more answers from them, and as you say, clarity. But both the Minister of Public Works and the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly would not commit to anything. Basically, what they were saying is we need to wait for the investigation to be completed. But it's astounding how somebody was able to get into not only the precinct, but go into the National Assembly undetected. Let's listen to what the Deputy Minister, or rather, sorry, the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly and Patricia de Lille had to say about this.
We will say that without hesitation, once we have as much as we can get to do so. Right now, what we are saying, whoever did this was out of order. Whoever did this, and this is an affront to democracy in our country. But those labels about what you want it called legally and otherwise must happen as a result of verified information. Okay?
Yes.
So I think it would be better to do that. The minister is correct in saying you can make sense of what you are beginning to see and so on. You might be proved wrong and or right accurately, depending on the accuracy of your speculation.